braving the traffic. We held this on a Tuesday at 6 o'clock. Tuesday at 6 o'clock. To kind of give you an idea, this is kind of how the traffic situation is, and will probably be for the entire duration of our session this year. So that's why we did this on Tuesday at 6, because that's when our classes will be starting mid of August. So my name is Melinda Wolfenbarger. I'm the training coordinator for this chapter. I'm class of 2014, and I've been training coordinator since 2015. So it's really great to meet everybody and get to meet all the new group of folks coming in, and I just want to thank you guys for being here for our open house tonight. I think what we're going to do first, you're going to start the videos? We have a little short video, I think it's like 12 minutes, and we're going to play the video for you guys. I don't know if our sound is going to be the best, so just bear with us. I think we have subtitles, so in case it's not very loud. So we're going to do that. Oh, that's not it.
It was on there.
Did it go on already? It's not ready.
What do I search for?
Go back. Just put in Texas Master Natural. It's YouTube.
So this, I forgot to bring a speaker. And huh? They're not very loud, but we're going to turn the speakers on. But there is closed captioning. Some of us that are older, we use closed captioning.
Some of us that aren't older.
Is that a requirement of the Master Naturalist?
The first time I saw my parents using closed captioning, I'm like, no, you're not old.
It's helpful though.
I'm over that. I believe it's a silent movie. Where should that be plugged in, Michael? On the side?
Yeah, on the side.
And should be coming out on the, here we go.
Our panelists,
Having been an urban
our
biologist,
attendees.
it was always kind of a challenge to kind
Make sure that you're using that chat button, but before you do, and you can't hear
I
me,
think
you
that's
can't hear me telling you.
You know, we can
to use the
always
chat.
go,
You need to check
you
out
know,
your
on the other
audio
side of the
settings.
world,
So those
there is
audio-
something that needs to be conserved
We'll get this right
when
eventually.
there's actually things right.
Here we go.
You know, we can always go, you know, on the other side of the world, there is something that needs to be conserved when there's actually things right around the corner that need to be conserved and are important to our natural resources. Having been an urban biologist, it was always kind of a challenge to kind of get people to think about what's right in their own backyard. And Master Naturalists play an important role in being able to do that.
What we as urban biologists began to realize very early in the inception of the urban program in Texas Parks and Wildlife was the need to clone ourselves, because we were absolutely in so much demand to provide technical guidance on ecological systems that we could not fulfill the need.
We realized that if we didn't have a core of volunteers that we could draw on for that it was going to be really difficult for us to reach very many people.
People working in conservation and resource management at the city, county, state, and federal level will never have enough staff to accomplish the work that needs to be done. So it's through a core of trained and dedicated volunteers, you can really move the needle, really accomplish so much more.
We needed people to be urban biologists who understood the ecosystems, who could go when we were not able to go to public meetings to represent the prairies and the forests of our state, as well as having people be able to know what their local park needs from an ecological perspective and be a voice for that local park. And so it was from that desperate need that this program arose. So the Urban Program was one of the main partners in creating this Master Naturalist program along with San Antonio Parks and Recreation Department. Rufus Stevens and Judith Gowan at the time, Judith Green now, they started kicking around an idea of this program of ecologically based extensive training in return for volunteer service hours.
The idea of a Master Naturalist program came from a program in the city of Fort Collins, Colorado, where they trained citizens within their local community to be stewards. I think Rufus or Debbie were at a national conference where they learned about this program, and the idea for a similar program was born back in Texas.
Debbie Reed, who was working with San Antonio Parks and Rec, came to myself and Judith Green and said, I think we ought to start a program for conservation. We should call it the Master Naturalist. We said, that's a great idea.
And so the three of them nursed that idea, and then together they helped to form and guide that first chapter into what is now the Master Naturalist program.
The sky was the limit as to how we put this together. Had a lot of people with input, really great ideas to help get us started. We were all committed to making it the best it could be.
All of us got to see it from its inception.
It was really a group effort, where there were all these people who came together and made it happen.
Well, as we were putting the structure together for a program, there was a lot of interest expressed from around the state.
The idea of a Master Naturalist program spoke to people. It spoke to that there were lots of people that had that as an interest.
There was so much enthusiasm for what was happening in San Antonio. There was a person who heard about it in Dallas and already had begun to say, we need this in Dallas. And there were a lot of people in the Dallas conservation community that said, we want it now. And so, of course, I said, okay.
Our Master Naturalist program grew from the chapter in San Antonio and the chapter in Dallas, basically as a groundswell of volunteers who heard about the program, who got their local Parks and Wildlife and Extension staff involved. They said, we'd like to bring this to our county or to our group of counties. Will you help or will you allow us to do this?
And at that point, we realized that it was going to take off.
That's right after that, it was Houston and then Austin, and then we were off to the races.
We had just an exponential growth of chapters in the first couple of years as more communities saw the power that this program was going to be able to provide for their local conservation organizations, their local conservation needs, and for their citizens as well.
Even today, this is how all of our chapters start, with the interest of volunteers who work with their local community partners to bring these resources and people and organizations together to offer a Master Naturalist program in their local community.
Today we have 48 chapters scattered across the state.
We've trained about 12,000 Master Naturalists within the program to date.
When a Master Naturalist joins the program, they're usually there to learn about what they see around them. They want to know what these flowers are, they want to know what these birds are, what these bees are, and they want to understand how all of these parts and pieces work together.
First, they get a broad overview of Texas natural resources. After that, their training really specializes on the local natural resources around them. They learn about the land management, land use history. They learn about the ecoregion that they're in, the plants, the wildlife, the river and water systems, everything that makes that ecosystem what it is. So they really become experts in their local natural resources. Our volunteers give back over 430,000 hours of service on an annual basis. They're providing management assistance or recommendations to small acreage landowners. They're turning dirt and developing trails, helping us with stewardship projects, research, outreach, and education.
They provide an invaluable education for our public and for our policymakers about the conservation needs of our state.
Master naturalists are having impact way beyond what anyone ever would have thought 20 years ago.
When we think about impacts that the program is making, not only on the natural resource side, the acreage, the trail miles, the people reached through outreach and education, those are some impacts, but there's the personal impacts. They're the ones that bring the tears to my eyes. From a mom who's suddenly become an empty nester, and they've said that this program has really given them something that they can look forward to, give back to their community, get back to their roots. Other people I know have gone through the program and found their soulmate. We have master naturalists that have got married.
They're involved not only in the chapter itself, they take it far beyond. It's become a real integral part of their life.
They do it not only through the projects in their community, through teaching school kids or leading tours, but they take it home with them. And they teach their neighbor, their grandkids. You just see that conservation ethic becoming generational.
Now we have so many people watching these master naturalists, they can't help but fall in love with the resources as well.
I love quotes, and I read a couple books of quotes each morning. And one of the quotes is by Sir Thomas Browne. And he says, "We have within us the wonders that we seek around us." And I think the Texas Master Naturalist Program stimulates the wonders in us to seek things around us.
The Master Naturalist Program simply amplifies what that person is in his or her spirit.
There's something innate about them, about their upbringing, about their experiences, about their personal passion that draws them to these projects. And the program simply helps them to thrive and gives them the tools they need to show that passion to others.
I think there is an untapped pool of people who have that passion for natural resources, yet not the professional background. And that it's a great opportunity through this program to be able to tap into that.
I think that everybody has an interest in some facet of natural resources, be it slugs and snails, that may be your interest. And it may be because you love escargot that you're interested in snails. I couldn't foresee somebody saying, well, there's nothing here for me to volunteer on. It will find you if you look for it.
Every master naturalist I know just has a special heart for our native ecosystems, whether it's for plants or for wildlife or for geology, whatever that is. There's just a love and a passion in their heart for that. And it also just seems to kind of have to come out of them. If you're around them and there's a question about something that you see, they're going to be telling you what that is and why it's there and what its value is. I just have tremendous respect for their knowledge, for their never-ending desire to learn, and for their never-ending desire to want to be outside doing things for wildlife.
If they're out there working for our natural resources, it's gonna be okay.
Yes.
Doesn't that just make you feel good?
So, if any of that was fun or interesting, there's so many different things that you
Can't go, do this.
Anybody have trouble punching? I mean, who among us?
Right. A little comedy. That wasn't on one of your squares.
I mean, you are a hiking movie.
It'll help. Hiking definitely helps you poop. Anyway, so I don't even remember what I was gonna say. I think I was gonna say that
Does anyone
there's
need a restroom?
such a wide variety of projects and different things to volunteer doing and learn about. So whatever your weird little nature obsession is, I don't care how obscure you might think it is, that you will find somebody in this group that will join you and just be really into it. So it's a really wonderful group. I would consider this like a life-changing organization. It was for me. So we have a lot of wonderful experiences and great members, and it's a very welcoming group. So we're very, very happy that you're here. And with that, I'm going to introduce Mary Beth, who is our vice president. And our president is out of town, traveling the world. And so she's gonna come up here and talk for a little bit, and we'll go from there.
Okay. Welcome, 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 everybody. So glad you found it. You made it through the traffic. Who came from Arlington?
Wow.
Who came from Weatherford? Who came from the mid-cities? Hearst, Euless, Bedford, Colleyville? Okay. How long did that take? Oh my gosh. An hour? Anybody else that take you longer than an hour and a half? Well, you're to be commended. Okay, on the squares, how many total squares are there? Who can count? 25. 25. Okay, who in here got 25? Raise your hand. Ta-da! You get the prize of 2 apples, 2 oranges, and 2 rolling sandwiches. Okay, who got 24? Woohoo! You get 1 apple and 1 orange.
Are we doing a prize for the lowest number?
Should I do the lowest? Oh, okay.
Because you got so into your topic
Okay,
that
let's
you
do
didn't.
that. Okay, so we got 24. Who got 23? 23? Okay, very good. Who got from 20 to 22? Okay. Who got from 15 to 20? 15 to 19. 15 to 19. Who got from 10 to 14? Okay. Who got 5 to 9? You got here late. You got here really late, didn't you?
No.
Who got from 1 to 4? Yay! Okay, thank you. That seemed to work. That it made everybody talk to each other. That was fun.
Yeah, well, because I just found something exciting to talk about, and I talked about that topic.
So welcome. We have with us tonight Michael Perez right here will become your new best friend. Oh, I'm not standing in the right place.
There you go.
Your new best friend. He's the education director here at the Fort Worth Nature Center and Refuge. Who is here at the Nature Center for the first time tonight? Wow. Well, it's your first time out of many times, we hope.
Aww.
Isn't that right? So Michael is also, he set the room up for us today. He does a lot here. There's a broad-reaching education program at the Nature Center, and he also teaches some of the training classes. Also here tonight, we have Melinda, who you met. Dana, raise your hand. Class of 2021, correct? Yes. Okay. I put the recent people's classes up here. I'm the vice president. Our president is coming back from Finland. I know you feel real sorry for her. Carol Marcotte is here. Raise your hand. She is our past membership director.
What class were you? 2015.
And then Ryan Wiggins, class of the pandemic. Don't get close to me, class. And then Erica Swyron. You're in the Don't Get Close to Me class too, aren't you?
2022?
Oh, no, you're
I was in the last
2022.
class.
Oh, I'm sorry, you put it on there. Okay, so she's fresh. And she is our class representative. So all of us are on the training committee. And then also, I'm so pleased we have so many people here. We have Banjo Moore, and she actually works at the Nature Center at the gate. And we have Deanne McGinnis. I got you out of order. She's the treasurer. The treasurer.
And she works here.
And you work here too?
Yes.
Okay, what do you do?
On Sundays, I work the desk here at the Hardway.
Okay.
On Mondays, I work the gate.
The gate?
We don't have to work it all.
You work in the little tiny
Actually,
room.
that's my last Michael's job.
The little tiny room. It's a
Your
little,
job is to make my job easy.
yes. It's its own little ecosystem.
Yeah, it's got the best view of the park. So,
And then, from last year's class, we also have Anne Marie Fresta, raise your hand, and Roseanne Giambro. And did I get everybody? Oh, and Cindy Crump. There, it's hard to read backwards. Okay, so, I have a presentation, let's go through this. Texas Master Naturalist Program, the video is just wonderful, isn't it? What is a naturalist? A naturalist generally has a broad range of interests, which is a good thing because you can learn about everything. You're here because you love to learn and you love to serve. And that's what we do here. There's just so much to learn. They're curious, observant, and passionate. They document what they see, they enjoy sharing their knowledge, and they're motivated to keep learning. Whoops, sorry. They embrace their lack of knowledge. And this is from a gentleman named Christopher Buttle. The mission of the Texas Master Naturalist Program, which is 25 years old this year, is to develop a core of well-informed volunteers to provide education, outreach, and service dedicated to the beneficial management of natural resources and natural areas within the communities for the state of Texas. The program goals are to develop a statewide volunteer network that can improve the public understanding. So not only are you learning, you are sharing that knowledge with others, and to enhance and work and help existing natural resource through education and outreach activities. So here's the history we saw in the video. The very first chapter was created in San Antonio, and then the next year it became a statewide program. And then in '99, that's when our chapter was formed, was founded. We have a nice textbook. Did somebody bring the textbook? Okay, that's all right. We have a wonderful textbook. Oh, Michael's gonna go get a textbook. It's the kind of thing you could just sit down and read all the time. And there were two women that you saw in the video, one with Texas Parks and Wildlife, the one that said it just makes you wanna cry. She is the program director for the state organization. There are two people that run this at the state level. One with Parks and Wildlife, which is Michelle, what's her last name? Haggerty, Michelle Haggerty, thank you. And the other with Texas Parks and Texas AgriLife is Mary Pearl Muth. So those are our two sponsoring agencies, Texas Parks and Wildlife, Texas AgriLife. If you remember the other name, it used to be called the A&M Extension Service. So Texas AgriLife is underneath Texas A&M, and I have to admit, I'm an Aggie. So we learned all about that. The program is in 28 states now, based on the Texas model. That's pretty impressive. You saw in the video how many chapters there are, all the way up from the Panhandle, out to the Rio Grande, and down to the Rio Grande Valley, East Texas, 78% of Texas. You can see the counties that don't have much population in them, no chapters there. What do Master Naturalists do for our sponsoring agencies? They assist their staff in getting their job done. Oh, let's hold that up. Oh. So each chapter is written by a subject expert. So this is what we use in our training program. Beautiful book. You're welcome to come take a peek at it. We help to improve public access to the outdoors, and we increase support and awareness for conservation on public and private lands. So by conservation, that means understanding and protecting all the living plants and animals and everything. The water, everything that's part of our ecosystem. What do they do for Texas? They support the wildlife biology and natural resources, promote conservation, improve science and data collection, and we're always recording. The previous slide said there's an app that a lot of us use. Some of us are a little extremely enthusiastic about the app, and it's called iNaturalist. There's another one, what's it called?
Well, yeah.
Seek? Seek, yeah. There are another identification apps.
I mean, they use Google Lens.
Google Lens. And I'm an overly enthusiastic person. I believe iNaturalist is the only one that puts it into a scientific database for other people.
Yes,
So
GBIT.
we do that, okay. We share our knowledge, and we work with communities and organizations. There is a plethora of volunteer opportunities at the Fort Worth Nature Center. And a lot of people here that are already in the chapter volunteer. I met a gentleman, where are you, that volunteered, right there, raise your hand. You volunteered with a camp out.
Yeah, there's a
For youth that probably never get outside much. Just volunteer to do that. A lot of things. You can be a docent here, you can help with the grounds. And as far as being a sponsor, the Nature Center is not a statewide sponsor, but they're a local chapter. They're our local chapter sponsor. So the Fort Worth Nature Center is very important to us. Another thing, communities and organizations, okay? The program impacts through 2022. The video we just watched was about, 5 years old? 5 years old. So now we've got 16,000 volunteers have been trained in the state of Texas, 6.5 million hours, which has a value of over $140 million if we paid for that. Over 400,000 youth and adults have been reached annually, and over 6.8 million people have been reached total to date. The Master Naturalist program has received several state awards. I'll let you look at them. One of them is the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality, which is a very important agency in our state for regulating water quality, water rights, air quality. The Texas A&M Vice Chancellor's Award, U.S. Department of Interior, Innovations in American Government, Keep America Beautiful, several awards. Okay, let's talk about our chapter that is how old?
25 years.
25 years? Is our chapter 25 years old?
I don't know.
Started in 99? Any math majors in here?
You can add.
So am I. So we serve Tarrant and Parker County. We volunteer for volunteer projects that are in Tarrant and Parker County. There are other chapters for other counties, surrounding counties. We have about 200 active members, and by being active, I mean they have paid dues and maybe volunteered at least 1 hour. But we had, in last year, 152 members did a lot of volunteer work, and We had over 11,000 volunteer hours, and we'll explain what that means. And then 2,000 advanced training. Advanced training is just learning about something else, not actually getting out there and doing volunteer hours. Our basic training requirements, and be prepared, I'm going to repeat. Repetition is a good way to let something soak into your head. If you hear it over and over. I used to teach community college, so that's where I learned this. So our training requirement is 54 hours total. 54 hours total. So how many classes do you have to take? Tell me. How many classes? How many classroom sessions do you have to attend? 10. Okay. And how many field trips do you have to go on? 4. Very good. So some of the topics that are covered in our training is the history of what a naturalist is and what they do today, the ecology of Texas, aquatics, forests, prairies, urban system. What is an urban system?
Wildlife and see it.
What's that?
Forms of wildlife you can find and see it
That you find in a city?
in the city.
In a city, yes, very much, very good. One of our sponsors is the Texas Parks and Wildlife urban biologist. It's Rachel Richter. She is our sponsor for our chapter. We teach you about mammals, birds, arthropods, herps, amphibians, reptiles, geology, archaeology, and we also cover what our volunteer opportunities are in the class. The field trips are to different places in Fort Worth, such as the Nature Center and parks and gardens, and even maybe an Audubon golf course in Arlington, the field trips are tremendous. We've already looked at the book and noticed who the authors are, the 2 women that are the Texas Master Naturalist Program Director and the Assistant Director compiled this book. So on your handout, you have the tentative schedule. Some of the classes will be here at the Nature Center. The classes that will be here at the Nature Center are here because, number one, we love the Nature Center, and Nature Center staff is teaching the class, and to accommodate their schedule, we're going to be here. We're also going to try using the Fort Worth Botanic Garden for the other classes. That may be easier for some of you to get to. So you can see on there, we haven't ironed out exactly where every class is, but the dates and the topics are definite. So you've got that copy to take with you. That is also on our website, which there's a little ad for that in the corner. CTMN.org is how you can get to our website. So you also have a handout that says roadmap. And I just learned how to use Canva.
Wow.
Anybody use Canva?
Yes, ma'am. Graphic design.
So what I did was I copied my friend's FAQ and did this, that I gave you the FAQ. So here are the steps, the roadmap to become a Master Naturalist. The first thing is to complete training of the 10 classes. How many field trips? 4. So we define the first year, the classes go from August 15th to October 22nd. We consider that the first year. The second year is the next calendar year. So you get through your training, which ends October 22nd. You can actually start volunteering after the first class on August 15th. Then you can volunteer 40 hours and get 8 advanced training hours. And then you can become certified. You pay yearly dues of $25, and you only pay your dues starting in the second year. When do you become certified? you've got two options. Somebody name me the first option. Who wants to tell me? What's the first option?
40 hours volunteer
When?
during the first year.
During the first year. And when is the first year?
2023.
This year.
August 15th till when? Actually, the first year is until December 31st. Right, up at the top?
Yes.
Okay. What's the other option to be certified? Somebody tell me.
December 31st.
2024.
Okay, thank you. Any questions on that? Okay, we're gonna repeat it. Now we've got the frequently asked questions. I don't know about you, but I get lost on websites sometimes with text, you know? The little figures and something like this, to me, it seems more helpful. The important dates are the application is due at the end of this month, June 30th. How many people have already applied? Raise your hand. Very good, very good. The application is on our website. The training dates every Tuesday, you've got them on there. Most classes, I've got a location on there. I've got the units on there. The cost of training is $150. We do have scholarships, and we can get that information to you if you want a scholarship after you are accepted. The scholarship is usually for $100. If you miss a class, you are required to make that up. And then I'll let you read the rest of it. So, the requirements to become certified. How many hours do you have to volunteer? 40. Okay. And how many advanced training hours do you have to get? And what is advanced training? Better than normal training. I like that.
Is it classroom? Classroom?
It has to be, it can be online, it can be in person. If it's online, it has to be interactive. You have to have a chance to discuss. And these rules are set by the state. They're not set by our local chapter.
Our monthly meetings are considered AT.
How much do you get for a monthly meeting?
1 hour.
Do you
Thank
guys
you.
anyway?
Everything's an hour for an hour, right? Hour for an hour.
Yeah, but the chapter meeting can run longer than an hour because we have a business meeting. So that's a state rule. Chapter meeting is 1 hour. So advanced training, who can give me some examples of advanced training? The people that are here.
How about the meeting we went to last night where they talked about Lights Out, Texas?
Right, a chapter meeting, yeah. What else besides a chapter meeting? Cindy,
Native Plant Society meetings?
what is Native Plant Society?
What is the Native Plant Society? The Native Plant Society is another organization that you can participate in, or join a chapter, like, there's a chapter in Weatherford, there's a chapter that meets in the Botanic Gardens, and it's generally a discussion of native plants and, you know, you might have a plant of the month every meeting, and you also might have a topic related to native plants. And they also have a training course, a 4-level training that you can take to learn more about native plants.
And landscaping.
Yeah.
Right, yes, thank you. So the Native Plant Society is an educational chapter about how to use native plants in a landscape. Ryan, what's another one?
Guided hikes here at the Nature Center. Guided hikes.
Oh, guiding, being a docent, guiding a hike. Or no, taking a hike. Oh, taking a hike.
Or participating in one of the canoe tours is also advanced training.
Advanced training.
Really cool way.
Right, okay. A
Texas
fun
Native
way.
Cats, Texas Native Cats also is an AT.
Audubon Society.
Audubon Society. There are several partner or sister related organizations. Yes, ma'am.
How about Tarrant Regional Water District when they have the interactive programs?
Yes,
Not the recording.
if it's live, yes,
Yes.
absolutely, yes, yes.
And AgriLife, Texas A&M AgriLife Extension offers a ton of advanced training, and you can go to their website and just all kinds of topics.
Right.
You can do that as well.
Right. Very good. The state also has advanced training opportunities online, the state program.
Hashtag CTMN Tuesday.
Right. Okay, so the projects that we work on, we have a very long list of projects. They range from sampling water in the Trinity River and sending that to the state, or checking bluebird boxes during the bluebird nesting season, or working in a pollinator garden, or volunteering at the Nature Center in the greenhouse, or with maintaining the grounds at the Nature Center, or conducting hikes and helping with that. There are many, many opportunities. We have a lot of pollinator gardens that we support. That's one big thing. A lot of hours are earned doing that. So they're developed by local partners. A lot of times it could be a library, the Nature Center, what are some other local?
Mineral Wells State Park.
What?
Mineral Wells State Park.
Mineral Wells State Park, yes, yes.
Outreach,
What was that?
outreach tables. Outreach tables.
Lights Out for Work.
Oh, Lights Out Fort Worth, yes. Here's a map of our projects. All the way on the far upper left, Mineral Wells, the far upper right, Colleyville Nature Center, and then, is that Bob Jones in Mansfield? Oliver? Okay, Oliver, thank you. And we have this on our website, this map. We do not have a total, easy-to-use, complete list. We're always looking for somebody to make this list better. That could be another volunteer opportunity. Okay, why do we call ourselves master naturalists? We don't consider ourselves to be a master, meaning that we know everything. Part of our goal is that we're learning all the time, right? So my friends teased me at first and said, oh, you're a master naturalist, you know everything. And it made me uncomfortable that you can tell them it doesn't mean that you know everything, unless you really want to tell them that you know everything. They might believe you. So here's a definition. Master is to become skilled or proficient in. Try to master, right? If you think of it that way as being a verb, you're trying to master those skills. Masterful means inclined and usually competent to act as a master. Why do you want to become a master naturalist? To make a difference, to learn, to provide information, and to understand natural environments, to develop friendships, relationships, networks, and to hang with your peeps. You always have something to talk about if you're a master naturalist, and you can always learn about things. Erica was telling me about monarchs and turkeys and chickens today. And you can obtain awards and recognition. And Ryan has her award swag lanyard on with her pins. We earn pins every year. This is what our staff says, our Parks and Wildlife Director and our Assistant Director with Texas AgriLife. Working with master naturalists is a favorite part of my job. They are making a huge impact on local natural resources through restoration and education activities. Lives are being changed because of Texas master naturalists. Working with the master naturalists is the most important thing I've done in my 22-year career. That really says a lot. Here's the volunteer pledge. The volunteer pledge involves pledging to volunteer every year, and to maintain an active status, you have to volunteer. So that's the pledge. One thing we do not do, we do not take any political stands. The Sierra Club is more of a political group. We are politically neutral. So we're all about education and conservation. The application is due June 30th. You'll receive a phone call from the training director or a committee member after the applications have been reviewed. The selection committee will be meeting in July. We will let you know no later than July 27th. So we will be busy looking at the applications. How many applications did I say we had so far?
35.
Yeah, we'll probably have more after tonight. We are probably accepting 28, 29? 28, okay. And again, we do have scholarships. You also received a flyer about the Texas Master Naturalist Program on both sides. That'll give you more information about that. Nice, pretty colorful flyer. So what questions do you have?
Don't be shy.
What are you looking for in your applicants that you choose?
We're looking for volunteer commitment, because we are looking for volunteers. Any way that you can tell us that you're a volunteer?
Enthusiasm goes a long way. And, if you have a volunteer history, that you've been volunteering, you know, it's not necessarily the, the benchmark of a good applicant, but, you know, it kind of tells, you know, if you have a history volunteerism will look at that, but if you're enthusiastic, and maybe you've never volunteered an hour in your life, if you're enthusiastic and eager to learn and contribute, it's not a deal breaker if you've never volunteered.
Even if you haven't volunteered in the nature sector before, just volunteering anywhere shows commitment and willingness to volunteer.
Yes, ma'am. I really can't answer that.
Wait, listed last year?
Yeah.
Well, I would consider showing up again to be enthusiasm and willingness
Sure.
to, and I would definitely put that on your application.
Right. Yes, put it on, would you put that on your application? Be sure you mention that.
Yeah, be sure to come by, make sure I write your name down. Because if you didn't, we had so many applicants last year. It was,
We did.
It was really heartbreaking because we had to turn away some really well qualified applicants. So
Have you
if
submitted
you're
your
back this
application?
year, we can say that, that's definitely something that makes a difference, so.
Other questions? Yes?
Are the meetings a combination of Zoom and in person, or are they all in person?
All in person. We're looking for people that are committed to being here in person.
The
Yes.
training is in person, but the meetings,
Oh, the
the
meetings,
chapter
oh, the training,
meetings,
yes,
yeah,
thank you.
just to clarify, yeah.
The training is all in person. Our chapter meetings, you can either attend in person or through Zoom, and you take your chances with Zoom. Yes, ma'am.
The monthly meetings are always held at the Rose Garden?
Yes.
Botanic Garden?
The monthly meetings are always held in the Rose Room at the Fort Worth Botanic Garden. Yes, yes, sir.
About how long are the field trips?
They are,
5 hours,
is it 9 to 2?
Usually about 9 to 2, 9 to 3.
During the weekdays or
Good question.
Saturday? They're on
There is
Saturday.
one field trip that'll be on a
Thank you.
Sunday this coming up here, but yes, most of them are
Weekend.
Saturdays, every other
Weekends.
Saturday, but you'll notice there are 2 that are back to back. So just pay attention to those dates on the back of your page to make sure that you can attend. There are 5 field trips and you need to make it to 4. You can come to all 5.
Right, 5 field trips. You can come to all 5. Only, how many field trips are required?
And your class time? The class time?
The class time is from 6 until 9.
To 9.
And because we have, an hour, total number of hours that start fairly promptly. So, we're gonna try to start at 6.
Bring a flashlight or headlamp?
So when you leave?
Yeah, it does get very dark.
All I know is I like to go 820 to Silver Creek,
Me
the back
too.
way versus going Jacksboro Highway.
Yes.
Makes a huge difference.
If you don't know that trick, you get on 820, you get onto Silver Creek Road. It's a beautiful drive. It's kind of like driving in a wonderland through some of those tree shaded all the way over the road sections, and then you turn on. What's that?
Keep in mind, if you're coming that way to here, it's very crowded for people using it for the workload, you know.
From 5 to 6, it's crowded.
It's crowded, and they're also, if you're sharing it with trucks that don't even out of that business.
Right.
Just be careful.
Okay.
Maybe going 20 miles an hour.
Right. Any other questions? Really? Okay.
Well, I did wanna give Michael a chance to.
Yes, Michael.
Come talk, because he is, absolutely instrumental in putting this, session on every year. He coordinates our, instructors, he makes sure we have our room set up, he's just been an amazing help, and he's, also a master counselor. So he'll come talk to us about what the course is gonna, or the class is gonna be like.
All right. Yes, I am class of 2006. Okay, so anybody before 2006 in here? Well, Sharon, our president, she actually took the class. I took the class with her as well. So, oh, I'm sorry. I'm on. Let me know when I'm on.
You're good.
All right, good. Again, my name is Michael Perez. I'm the education director here at the Nature Center. I actually been here at the Nature Center since 2006. I took the class when I first started out here. Mary Beth talked about several things that I was going to talk about, and that's okay. Like the class, you have the schedule. So standing in the back, what can I say to y'all to maybe encourage y'all to apply and to give this a serious consideration? And the one word that came to mind that I'd like to share with you is impact, because this program is impactful. And I'm going to give you 2 examples of that. First, us sitting in this room, the reason we're in this room is because of some individuals like yourself who pushed to promote and encourage recreational activities and recreational facilities. A group of Audubon members pursued the park board in Fort Worth time after time after time, and the park board finally said, okay, fine, because at the time this land was being leased by ranchers, okay? So all that persistence and all that time that they spent going to park board, the city said, fine, we'll give you Greer Island. If you're familiar with the Nature Center, it's in the southeast part of the property, very southeast part of the property. They gave them Greer Island, which is a couple hundred acres, not much there. It's very sandy soils, and like, whatever, here, take it. And from that, they would educate the public. They started doing paddling programs, and school groups came out. And it just became just something where everybody was coming to see, and the city thought, wait a minute, maybe we're on to something. So when all those leases expired, the city didn't renew that anymore and recollected its land to its current state of 3,650 acres. Impact right there. Okay, now we have a place that we can recreate, enjoy, perform conservation projects, and you name it, okay? There are a lot of great organizations in this area, and I feel like we're one of those as well. We offer a lot of things. It was because of local citizens who had a dream, had a vision, and so forth. The second example of impact was in this very room. I can't remember the exact year. I want to say maybe 2009-ish, 2010. There was a master naturalist sitting in the back there, and he loved this program. And the next week, his kid came with him, and his kid sat with him, and he just got into it. And he fell in love with INAT as well. And one day he was doing his INAT had his phone, he was playing with INAT, he was about 9 years old. Okay, about 9 years old. And he took a picture of this really bright green shiny insect. It was beautiful. He thought, oh, this is so cool, takes a picture of it. Doesn't think much about it. And eventually, it was found out that that particular insect was an invasive species, the emerald ash borer. And all the news people came out. They came to his house, they invaded, and it just caused an uproar, and also triggered that awareness of invasive species and what we can do to help limit that as much as possible. So if the Texas Forest comes out here and they do projects out here, they monitor that, impact because of a master naturalist. So you are in good company, and you're going to make a big impact and continue that trend of making an impact in our community. And it could be here or any of the other wonderful facilities we have in the Fort Worth area. And we encourage you to make that consideration, register, and become the next group of master naturalists who are going to make a big impact in our North Texas area. So thank you, welcome, and I hope we see more of y'all. So thank you.
So we're starting to kind of wrap it up a little bit, but what I wanted to do is we have a lot of our
Find your
I
mark.
love being in the camera so much. We have several of our master naturalist current members here, so I would like to maybe go around the room and just have everybody give us an example of something you volunteer, some sort of volunteer project you're working on. You'll start with Roseanne.
I've been monitoring the
How amazing is bluebird box monitoring?
You open up the box and there's eggs, it's pretty amazing.
And then you come back the next week and there's little chicks. That's so cute.
Cool. You know, within just a few weeks, baby birds, nesting in the rain.
Then they go and you never see them again. They don't call, they don't.
I know, right?
They don't realize all the good things you did for them, but anyway.
The mom died, mom or dad died, mom.
Yes, yes, it's thankless, but it's a great project.
And it goes into a national database, right? Called Nest Watch, which is at Cornell University. To preserve birds.
Yeah, there's regional coordinators and I'll just send like data to my regional coordinator and then they send it on to Cornell.
And that project, we start probably what, late January, I guess?
I started it early April.
Oh, okay.
March, yeah, I went out with the woman and then brush.
Okay.
And that's when we started first now.
And we do have several different bluebird monitoring routes in the area, so.
Randallville Park in Arlington has bluebirds and, Molly Holler Wildscape and in Randallville Park. There is Keller, there's some all around.
We started one here, so.
I have been a docent here at the Fort Worth Nature Center with several, school groups, everywhere from preschool to like middle school. And right now I'm actually working with BRIT, which is the Botanic Research Institute of Texas, which is basically is, I don't know if BRIT is in charge of the Botanic Garden. Okay, so that they're like a joint entity with the Botanic Gardens. I have been transcribing some botany notebooks from the 70s. This botanist that has traveled the world collecting plant specimens and making notes and such, and that's what I've been transcribing. Which is kind of cool because I'm getting hours, even when it's late at night and I can't sleep, I can take out my laptop and log in some hours transcribing notebooks.
And that is also an example of something you could do from home, that you don't have to be out sweating or pulling privet or whatever. So we have a large variety of different things, we can volunteer. Some of it you can just do from your, while you're watching TV or something.
I do natural guard here at the Fort Worth Nature Center. I also like to get the snakes out, handle them as well on Saturday. I also do a lot of my hours on the committee, the training committee, and I've worked with Melinda on a couple of CTMN, tables, like at NatureCon and things like that. And also just going to tons of mothing events, and I'm adding all the moths that
pretty cool things like feed the bison and, you know, do other things, so,
Or assist on prescribed burns.
Oh.
there you go, yes, yes. I did that for many years too, so. Who's next? Oh, wait, hold on, I missed D.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She's on our board.
Yeah, I'm the treasurer. When, on your list of teachers, you've got Rachel Richter. She's also, running a thing called, UWIN, Urban Wildlife. And, basically, they've set out game trap cameras so that you can see the animals in given areas along a specific corridor. And then what I do is I look at those images and I identify any animals that are in. And that's how I log my hours between that and my work with the board.
What's the coolest thing you've seen on those?
Well, raccoons are pretty popular, squirrels are pretty popular.
See ringtail?
But, no, I did not get to see the ringtail.
But there's been one.
There has been one. And it was beautiful to see, but no, I didn't get to see it.
You ever see bobcats? Many
I
bobcats?
have seen a
Oh,
lot of
good.
them. But,
Thank
I
you.
know most-
Otters?
No, most of the cameras aren't set that close to the water. So.
Banjo?
Let's see, I've done a little bit of everything that everyone has said, and I've been with you on some stuff.
Yes.
We do the little bluebird stuff, and you've been out here, we've done some, you know, we do our natural garden stuff sometimes, and, I've done some booths, been out to some other, of the, different areas that were on that list, and doing some volunteer work there. So, I just pick up it all here and there everywhere, and get involved, and I meet a lot of different people that sometimes I haven't seen. And it's really great to meet these people because you get a chance to share your information that they're asking, and then I also get to promote this place a lot, all the time. And, I've seen those same people that I saw maybe when I was helping them plant certain things or learn about certain things in another area like in Arlington or somewhere, and then they're out here the next week because I told them about this place. So I love all that, it's great.
Excellent. Eric?
I work full-time, so this is something you can do and still work full-time. I'm on the board, and I'm also on the training committee, so a lot of what I do isn't out in the field right now because work, you know, the job thing. So, but you do, there's a lot of stuff that you can do behind the scenes, administrative type stuff, and you're still able to attend the meetings and learn and have access to everything else, so it's pretty awesome.
Karen?
Okay, well,
That's really
I've been a, master naturalist since 2015, and I like to deal with native plants, so I do a lot of my volunteer work at the Molly Holler Wildscape, which is going to be one of your field trips, so I'll see you there. And then we also, I volunteer over at the Randall Mill Park, it's a city park as well, in Arlington. I'm also, do a lot of plant rescuing, which is, conservation, like before the bulldozers come, we get word that some, acreage of land is going to be bulldozed in, 2 months or something like that. Then a group of us will go out there and rescue plants, collect seed, dig up the plants, and, pot them up, try to get them to grow and transplant them somewhere else, just to keep that genus moving around. You don't want to keep doing the same thing, with the plants. And then I also monitor bluebirds. So I have 2 different places that I monitor bluebirds, and I just really like doing that as well.
And you also are, you're still on the board?
Oh, yeah, I'm on the board, yeah.
Yeah, don't forget that. So she's very busy, very busy.
Hi, I'm Cindy Crump, and currently I mostly just volunteer over at Lake Mineral State Park because I work full-time. But in the past, I've done some private pools at the Molly Holler Wildscape. I've done some water monitoring. I've led kids groups over at
What about it,
Yeah, the pollinator garden at Lake Mineral Wells State Park.
do you ever do any other programs at Mineral Wells, or is it just the garden?
It's just the garden. I mean, there's lots of opportunities, because David Owens is looking for people to do some more volunteering out there.
Yeah, lots of opportunities out there.
Yeah, there's lots of opportunities, 'cause out there they have rock climbing, you can, lead, on their nature trails.
They used to do like dark sky nights, or also,
Yes,
They
and
still
I'm not
do
sure if
that.
they do, they still, because I
Yeah.
haven't heard recently, but
Well,
that's
they do
also
some-
someplace you could
They do
volunteer.
some stargazing, and also, there's one of the park rangers, he does cowboy stories at night sometimes, and we out there. Yeah, we have actually, as a chapter, gone camping out there, and then, do some volunteering out in the parks. So it's a,
And it's our,
been out there.
it's
It's a
our,
great park.
our only state park within our Tarrant Parker boundary, so it's a little far, to get to.
It's as far west as you can go. In fact,
Yeah.
the Prairie Oaks chapter is also, they also participate in working in the pollinator garden too, because it's right there on the border. So it's as far west as you can go.
But one of the nice things about that, however, is if you do decide you wanna volunteer out there, your travel time counts as volunteer hours. There have been some new regulation on that, I think,
I think we're limited to
an hour and a half,
travel time.
yeah, each way.
But also,
or
if you
maybe
get,
total.
you get 100 hours of working out of the state park, you get a separate little pen.
Yes.
Same with the World Nature. Same with the World Nature Center.
Yeah, yes, you do, you do, you do.
Yeah, volunteering in state park, you get, volunteer hours, you get 100, you get a pen, really like a license that is a year on it.
I'm Dana Austin, hi everybody. I'm class of 2021, so, most of my volunteering is in pollinator gardens in Arlington. But I also have done trash pickups, cleanups, I do a lot of work with the Native Plant Society, help out with the plant sale, have run tables at some fairs, discussing native plants. And I also volunteer in the Southwest Nature Preserve, not that often, but I do like going out there, they have a great crew out there. And I like getting physical, I like doing the physical labor, not so much in the summer. And then I have recently started doing more administrative work, because I do have good organization skills, and it is nice to do things, on the computer at home.
And she's on our training committee this year, so you've seen a lot of her. And
I'm Meredith Lampy. I'm the vice president, and I secure the speakers for each of our monthly chapter meetings. I maintain our website. I'm always looking for help for anything that I do. And I send out the meeting announcements and other announcements about our chapter
didn't miss any, I think I got all of our master naturalists. And I used to volunteer at the Nature Center quite a bit, and then I moved out of county for a while, and I really need to get back to volunteering here. But I do come out here with my son. I did frequently last year, and we would just do trash pickups. So I do that, and then some outreach tables. I get a lot of my hours doing the training, because we're coming into that really busy time of year on training committee. And I've done some school groups out at Mully Holler. I volunteered out there. I've done a little bit, I've volunteered at the Southwest Sub Courthouse, Pollinator Garden, a while back. But whatever you're interested in, there's so many opportunities and so many different things you can take an interest in. And bio blitzes, nobody mentioned bio blitzes. We also do bio blitzes. We'll have like a particular area, and over a certain time period, we'll have as many people as possible go out and record every living species that we can record in that particular location. It could be fish or bugs or arachnids, insects instead of bugs. But anything, slime molds, trees, plants, grasses, and just go out and catalog the diversity in a particular location. And those are always really fun events. I think we probably maybe 2 or 3 a year that the chapter gets involved in, and those are always a lot of fun.
And that's using iNaturalist.
And that's using iNaturalist, and you catalog everything on the iNaturalist app, which you will hear so much about in the class. And we'll really. It's very competitive.
Very competitive.
Yes. And then another member of our training committee who isn't here tonight is he'll do a sort of a lesson on iNat and how to use it and how powerful it is. So that's so anyway. So that's kind of going over everything. Does anybody have any other questions?
Through this program, is there ever an opportunity to blacklight the nature center, like at night?
We've done that before. Yeah, we've done that. Actually, we did a nature at night, or was it nature at night, or I can't remember what it was called. Refuge After Dark. And I actually came out and set up my light out here for that a couple times, a couple years ago.
Like during like during Knock Week last week, or last year, there was a lot of opportunities.
Caitlin had a really cool experience. We went Gator Sunday.
Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
That was pretty fun.
Yeah.
So, that's very
cool.
What's yours for Ray?
Myself. That's why we volunteer. So if you need some volunteers.
Melinda.
Yes.
You should mention that also, we send out, the CTMN sends out those opportunities.
Yes.
To everyone.
Yeah, once your email is in, you'll be getting notifications that'll say, volunteer opportunity this weekend, or, and then we have kind of like the ones you won't get the emails about, which is like Natural Guard on Saturdays, because everybody, that's just like a set. But any kind of special event that's coming up, we'll send out those notifications.
And it's on the calendar. The calendar on
Yes,
the
there's a
website
calendar.
has the different regularly scheduled volunteer projects.
And I would encourage you, if any of this sounds interesting, to go ahead and dip your toes in that and find an opportunity and just get involved, because there's tons of places that need help, and it's very rewarding. And you meet your people, like look around you, because these are your people. Like if you're here tonight and you haven't left yet, these are your people. So you really get to be really great friends with the people in the class with you. Like I was in class with Banjo, but she was my emotional support person, because I was going through some things that session. So and we're still friends, and it's just been, and that's been 9 years. Yeah.
2014.
So you get to know people that you can really connect with and count on. People that you can really get to know really well.
The field field trips will really get you really bonded, and you'll end up falling in love with one part of those 4 field trips or 5 that is really special to you. It's really fascinating what you learn there.
So much.
Just, getting your hands on it.
Yeah, it's great.
Another tidbit is that you can volunteer on any of these projects. We will take volunteers, come on down, and that way we can get to know you and if you're going to apply.
And, be sure and let us know if you're, because I'm gonna tell you, we have, 28-ish spots. We've already had 35 people apply. So if you do start volunteering somewhere, please send us an email at training@ctmn.org and let us know that you're doing that, because, we will consider that. And if we could, we are limited mostly by space in the field trips. So during the field trips, we can only have so many people for it to be an effective experience and rewarding experience. So we are limited on our numbers. So
And if you don't get in this year, start volunteering.
Please start
Add,
volunteering.
If anything sounds interesting, start volunteering now, and then it'll be one more thing that you can add, make those connections of.
And I promise you, you will be welcome, even if you don't make it. Do not take it personally. You will be welcome with open arms. We would love to have you. You're still welcome to come to our meetings. You're still welcome to volunteer with us. And the more you're volunteering with us and getting to know us, and we see you out there and you build up that resume, that volunteer resume, because unfortunately, we can't take everybody. We would love to, but at the moment, we only have one session, and it's from August to October, and that's the only session we have at the moment. So, yes.
Give me an example of what you do out at Chisholm Trail Park.
Chisholm Trail Park is, I know they have trash pickups. Bluebird boxes out there. I don't think there's a native
In the
plant.
past, they've had a community day where people sat at the
Yes,
table.
yes, yeah, I've been to that. We're-
Class 3 exits away from me.
Yeah, and there are opportunities, and we have one of our members who, I believe she was it's Alexis, she's class of maybe 2016, I wanna say. And she has really developed a volunteer program out there, and she does actively look for people to come out and help her do those sorts of projects. So there definitely are opportunities out there. Yes?
You guys have like a document on your website that has like the directory for all the places to volunteer?
Is there
We
a
have a map, we have that map that has, it's not completely wonderful, it's partly wonderful. We have that map, then we also have a list, there is this long list, and I am looking for someone to work on that.
And also, I would say, if there is a project, like if you become Master Naturals, you have a park in your neighborhood, or a project that you want, something you want to do that maybe isn't in our list of projects, we do accept submissions for new projects. So if there's something you want to do, we
That on the
will
website?
certainly, pardon?
Is that on the website? I'm interested in that.
No, that would be if you, once you're getting your volunteer hours and you're
Okay.
accepted, then let us know what you're interested in doing.
Yes.
And you write a little proposal, it's like 1-page little, maybe a paragraph, I don't know. And it goes to the board, we look at it, and we'll say, yes, this is eligible for hours.
Thank you.
Or no. I mean, the other thing, we do have kind of a limiting factor for those kinds of projects. It needs to be something, Tarrant and Parker County. It needs to be something to do with the native wildlife and plants. So in other words, like, if it's like some horticultural garden or vegetable gardening or, something like that, I don't know that we would necessarily take something like that.
My example is we are an
Maybe
exploding insect identification group in North Texas
Yes,
online.
and that would be
And
something that we would.
We're really desperately looking for more identifiers and moderators who are qualified.
We have many bug people
Yes.
in this group that are
So
passionate.
if they could get hours for something like that,
It might be considered citizen science,
So-
but you'd have to write up a
Yes.
proposal and say what
but there
kinds
is a
of
process
things-
for that.
There's a process for that,
Because
yes.
we've had a hard time incentivizing because, during the summer, they're going off doing field study, they're not sitting around identifying like
Right,
things
right.
like that. It would-
Yeah, I would say definitely that would be something that's, you know, and I don't make the decision. We have Teresa Thomas, she's our volunteer and AT coordinator person who looks at all those submissions and then recommends it or says yes or no. So, I mean, it's not up to me, but I mean, it sounds like something that would be viable. I can't personally say yes because
Okay.
I haven't read the
the fact that there's a
proposal,
process,
but
that's
yes,
great
there's
to hear.
definitely a process. So,
Thank you so
it
much.
Sounds good, sounds good. Anybody else have anything?
I just wanted to
Yes.
clarify, you just, open the map, pick a location and look what's available for this location. Is that correct?
Yeah, if there's a particular, the map, I personally haven't gone on that map and used it, but yeah. Is it pretty easy to use?
And the locations are in the handbook, it's online.
Yeah, the locations are in the habit, and all those different projects, like, we have, some groups that are, every single Saturday afternoon, they've got something going on. And then we have, some that do, you know, Thursday mornings or whatever, they'll have something every Thursday. So there are a lot of different timeframes you can volunteer for, but yeah, you should be able to find something on that. Or if you are just confused about, you know, like what sounds the most like what you'd be interested in, and if you reach out to us on the training committee, we can definitely help you maybe narrow that choice down.
I just would like to go on Trinity Trails if there is anything there.
Trinity Trails?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about Trinity Trails.
There's a Cabbage Bash.
Oh, yes, we do have, there is a invasive species called, and we're all adults here.
Bad
And it's just
cabbage.
Bastard cabbage, it's no big deal. It's PG-13 at the most, but, bastard cabbage, and it's an invasive mustard, species that is outcompeting, correct me if I'm wrong here, I believe it's outcompeting the bluebonnets in many areas. And it's that, you know, you might see, these tiny little yellow flowers, and they come up about the same time as the bluebonnets come up early spring. And we do have groups that go along Trinity Trails and rip it up and get rid of it because they produce so many seeds, and the more seeds they produce, the harder it is for the bluebonnets to compete. So we do have groups that do that. That's one thing I'm thinking of.
I know some people do bluebirds there and
Mhm.
also take samples of the water.
Yeah, the bluebirds, yes, water, the stream team.
I just saw somebody
Yes.
doing it.
Yes,
So,
yes. And I'm not super familiar with it, like, I'm not familiar with every single project that we do, but, I didn't even think about that. But yeah, we do have stream team, people that are involved, do water quality monitoring. Anybody else?
Oh, where do I find this map on the website?
It is under, what tab is that map under on the website?
Where we volunteer.
Where we volunteer.
volunteer
Oh,
tab.
Yeah. So if nobody has another question, I think what we're gonna do is we'll break, but we will stay around as long as you want to talk or chat.